Good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on NTV Sports. I'm Punchani Edrisingha. As always, let's start off with a look at your headlines. Indian Coast Guard accuses Indian fishermen of willfully entering Sri Lankan waters. 7 individuals involved in a fuel scam arrested. Chaos reigns in Ukraine's new parliament. Starting off with local news, the Coast Guard station in Mandapan, India has blamed Indian fishermen for crossing the international maritime boundary and being apprehended by the Sri Lankan Navy for poaching in Sri Lankan waters. According to the Hindu, Coast Guard commanding officer H.H. More had said that the Indian fishermen often take a calculated risk and invariably get caught in the bargain. More said that fishermen who were equipped with GPS devices are well aware of their location but willfully cross the border taking a risk. He further said that some of these fishermen even wave at Coast Guards as the Coast Guard cannot apprehend them from across the international maritime boundary. Police have stumbled upon a racket where fuel siphoned off CPC Bowsers was being sold in the open market. We'll have details of the story later on in the news. The Ministry of External Affairs said that Australian Foreign Minister Bob Carr is due to arrive in Sri Lanka today. Director General of the Public Communication Division of the Ministry, Sarath Dissanayake, stated that the Australian Foreign Minister will be in the country for 3 days. The Ministry of External Affairs noted that discussions during the visit will focus on developing bilateral ties between the two countries. Regional issues and problems related to Sri Lanka refugees in Australia will also be discussed. Meanwhile, 14 individuals who were attempting to illegally travel to Australia by sea have been arrested in the Erawur area. The police media unit stated that the suspects were arrested following a tip-off when they were at a house in the Chen Kaladi area in Erawur. The Ministry of Health says that the average lifespan of women in Sri Lanka has increased to 78 years.
The Ministry of Health stated that this information was received during research conducted recently. The Ministry of Health stated that the average lifespan of men is 74 years. The Ministry of Health says the quality of the health service is the main reason for this. The Ministry also noted that 99% of childbirths taking place in hospitals and the prevention of the spread of communicable diseases have contributed to the increased lifespan of women.
A woman died after being knocked down by a lorry on Nagalam Street in Grand Pass.
The accident had occurred last evening. The police stated that the lorry involved in the accident had driven off. Following investigations, the driver of the lorry as well as the individual who is suspected to have driven the vehicle at the time of the accident have been taken into custody. The deceased is the 59-year-old resident of Nagalagam Street in Grand Pass.
2 fishermen who were aboard the vessel which left from the Mirissa area and disappeared have been rescued by another fishing vessel. The Deputy Director of the Department of Fisheries, Lal De Silva, stated that the vessel had met with an accident in the seas surrounding the Andaman Island, located 405 nautical miles off Trincomalee. Vessel Aloka, which left for fishing, has rescued the 2 fishermen and handed them over to the Nuandeka vessel. The Deputy Director of the Department of Fisheries, Lal De Silva, stated that the 2 fishermen returned to the island in the Nuandeka vessel last afternoon. Having the 1 vessel left to engage in fishing activities on the 5th of September with 4 fishermen aboard. The Department of Fisheries noted that the other 2 fishermen have died in the incident. The rescued fishermen have stated that the body of 1 fisherman could be found. The Department of Fisheries further noted that one of the rescued fishermen have fallen ill. Getting back to one of our previous stories now. Police have stumbled upon a racket where fuel siphoned off CPC Bowsers was being sold in the open market. Police stated that 7 individuals who were preparing to sell fuel siphoned from CPC bowsers were arrested early this morning in Chilau. Investigations have revealed that the group had robbed fuel from 3 bowsers. 6 of the arrested individuals were serving as the drivers and assistants of the bowsers, while the 7th was a buyer. Investigations revealed that the group was attempting to sell 176 litres of diesel. The suspects will be produced before the Chilau magistrate today. The Ministry of Health has requested the public to inform the Medical Research Institute if any unidentified object is spotted in the sky. The ministry states that the ground beneath the place where the object is spotted should be examined carefully. The ministry says that if unfamiliar metal or rock fragments are found on the ground, they should not be touched and the Medical Research Institute should be informed immediately. Meanwhile, the Medical Research Institute has taken steps to forward reports and information on the numerous sightings of unidentified lights across the country to Professor Chandra Wickramasinghe, the director of the Buckingham Centre for Astrobiology in the United Kingdom, who is currently visiting Sri Lanka. Moving on to sports news now. The first test between Sri Lanka and host Australia commenced today for the Vaughan Muralidharan Trophy. The game, which is being played in Hobart, saw Sri Lanka paceman Chanaka Velagedara claiming 3 Australian caps.
Winning the toss, Australia opted to take first lease of the wicket. However, the hosts were struck an early blow as opener Edward Cowan was dismissed for a paltry 4 runs by Chanaka Velagedara.
In the air, should be out. Is out. Big wicket for Sri Lanka. That's what they needed. They needed a breakthrough.
David Warner and Philip Hughes then put on a 79-run second wicket stand. Warner, who scored 57 runs, was eventually run out.
Oh, we have a mix-up. We have a run-out, do we? Yes, we have a run-out.
Velagedara struck once more before play was halted for tea as he dismissed Shane Watson for 30 runs. Hughes, who looked to take the game away from the Sri Lankans, was the 4th Aussie wicket to fall on day 1.
He finally gets his man. A good foolish delivery. I think he might have just...
At stumps, Australia batting in the first innings were 299 for the loss of 4 wickets. Moving on to more sports news, the Sri Lankan blind cricket team that participated in the 2020 Blind Cricket World Cup arrived in the country today. The inaugural 2020 Blind Cricket World Cup was held in Bangalore, India. Sri Lanka, who managed to advance to the semi-finals, was eventually beaten by India, who went on to clinch the World Cup. Sri Lanka managed to win 5 out of 7 preliminary round matches in the 2012 edition of the 2020 Blind Cricket World Cup. The captain of the Sri Lankan blind cricket team, Chandana Kumara Suryarachi, speaking to the media, stated that although they faced economic difficulties, the victories that they were able to achieve showcases their courage and determination. And that's the end of our lunchtime news today. Thank you very much for joining us. Take care.